Foundation level course in English. So today is lesson 3. Total number of lessons are 20. We help you learn and speak the language. So improve your spoken English with us now. This language course is brought to you by AES Language School. Our topic for today's lesson is verb. Verb has forms. How many forms? Verb has 5 forms that I'll explain to you after a while. These forms help us learn and speak the language. If we understand different forms of the verb, we of course can learn the language and then we are able to speak the language. So it is a very important topic, that what are the verbs, what are the forms of the verbs, and how we use them. But first, we understand one more thing about verb, that verb tells two things. One, it tells action. Action not in a sense of, action movies and something that we say, oh, what a great action. Action means an activity. It means, for example, you say walk. Walk is one action. It is one activity. When you change from walk to run, run is another activity. Then is jump. Jump is yet another activity. So for every activity, there is a verb to explain. For example, we say read. As you take a book and you read is an activity. Then you are reading, and if you're reading aloud, somebody is listening. So listen is another activity, right? When you speak is another activity. And when you write, it is yet another activity. So it means verbs, they explain activity or they explain action. Second, verbs, they tell time. Time not in a sense of 6 a.m. in the morning, or it is not telling time 4 in the afternoon, or last night, or tomorrow morning. It is not telling time in that sense. It is telling time in a sense of present, past, or future. So verb tells two things, action and time. So today we are going to talk about two different categories of verb, regular verbs, and the other one is irregular verb. So regular means that something which is step by step, same, no difference at all. And irregular means that something which is not clear to us and we have to learn that accordingly, right? So let us look at what are regular verbs. Regular verbs are the verbs that are ending in ed in their second form and third form, because as I said earlier that each verb has 5 possibilities. That is called first form, second, third, ing form, s or es form. These all are the different forms of the verb. So first form is sometimes called present form of the verb. Second form is called past form of the verb. Third form is called past participle form of the verb. ing is called present participle form of the verb. And s or es is not called with these names, but that is called s form of the verb. Or some people, they say first form and then add s with it for third person singular. But you just keep in mind that this is s or es form of the verb. This is an ing, this is third form, this is second form, and this is the first form. And regular verbs are the verbs that are ending in ed in their second and third form. It means that after first form we write ed to make second and third form of the verb. All those verbs are called regular verbs. Now if you look at these first 4 verbs, we have used ed to make the second form, except with the difference of used where we have only added d with it. But anyways, that is ending with ed, so that comes in the category of the regular verb. But then you look at these 3 verbs, study, carry, and worry. So here they are ending with y, but here y is not there in the second and the third form of these verbs, or even in the s or es forms of these verbs. Now what is the rule for that, and why y is changing into I? The rule is this: verbs ending with, it means any verb that is ending with this letter expression, sh or ch or s or x or z or o, we add es when we make s form of these verbs. And in case the verb is ending with y, it means it is not ending like this, but it is ending with y. Then before y is not a vowel. Now you look at these three verbs. Before Y is D, before Y R, and then R. So these are not vowels, these are the consonants. So it means that before Y, if it is not vowel, then Y changes into I, and then ES is added. It means one possibility is this way to add ES, that if the verbs are ending with these letters, then put ES to make its S form. If it is not ending with these but ending with Y, and before Y is not a vowel, then Y shall change into I, and then ES is added. Now look at the first verb. It is also ending with Y, but before Y is a vowel, so therefore Y cannot change into I, so we just add ED over here to make its second form and third form, and in S form we have just placed S after Y. Y is not changing because it has a vowel before it. So remember this rule, that when Y is having vowel before it, then Y would not change, but if it is not having vowel, then Y would change into I, and then ES is added in the case when we talk about S forms. Now in the second form and third form, Y has changed into I, and ED is added. So ED means that these are the regular verbs. So you have to have one thing in mind, and you have to learn this, and you have to be very clear about it, that all verbs, they appear in 5 different possible ways. That is first form, second form, third form, ing form, SR, ES form. And these are the forms that help us understand what is an action. Look at this. What is an action? Play. There is an action: work, then talk, wash, use, study, carry, worry, start. The more verbs you learn, it means the more action words you add in your vocabulary list, the more you learn the language, and the easier you feel to speak or use the language. So this is important, that you have to increase, you have to expand your list of action verbs in your vocabulary. So for every action, look at alternative word in English and learn that word means that verb, and then use it. And of course I'll let you know how to make sentences. Now another important thing, that is that when we talk about first form is used only in present tense. It means that we can use this first form in present tense only. We cannot use this in past tense, we cannot use in future tense, but we can use this in present tense only. This is the first step. Later on we may add or we may say certain other things, but at first place you have to understand that first form is used only in present tense. This is the first step, and present tense means the present time. As I talk now, you listen now. So this is called present time. So I say talk. Talk is the first form. Listen. Listen is also the first form. So the first form are used for the present tense or the present time. So this you have to have in mind, that the first form of the verb is used for present time, for present tense, and that is sometimes called present indefinite tense. But still we say that for present tense we use the first form of the verb. Then it is the S or ES form that is also used in present tense. The difference is that these are used with he, she, and it, and these first forms are used with other pronouns like I, we, you, they, or more than 2 names, right? So these are used when it is a single name, or he or she or it, then these S forms are used. So they are used in present tense. Which S form or ES form is used in present tense, or first form is used in present tense? This is to learn, and one is to keep this thing in mind. Then It is the second form. Second form is used in past tense only. It means whenever we talk about past, we use this second form. Now it is played, and here it is played also. Then how we differentiate between second and third form? This is a natural question that may arise in your mind. So we say that when it is used as the only verb in a sentence, it means any of these verbs are used and no other verb is used along with, then it means it's a past tense. But if some other verbs are used before these verbs, right? Some verbs are used before these verbs, like have, like had, like be, or any other forms of be before these verbs, then it means it is a third form. So slowly and gradually as we move ahead in lessons, so we'll get sufficient practice on use of second and third form, and it would get clear in your mind. So in past tense we use second form of the verb. Then comes the third form. Third form is used in perfect tenses. It is used in present perfect, it is used in past perfect, it is used in future perfect. It means third form can be used in any of those tenses. Our three divisions of time, present, past, or future, we can use third form. And it is equally true for the ing form. Ing can be used in all three time expressions, mean past, present, and future. And it is used in perfect structures, mean perfect continuous structures, or it is used in continuous structures. But this is used in perfect structures. So it means that these two are used in all tenses, but this is used, the second form, in past tense only, and this is used in present tense only, and then s or es is also used in simple present tense only or in present tense only. So this you have to keep in mind, and you must keep another thing, that verb has 5 forms: first, second, and third, ing or s or es form. So these are the forms of the verb. Now there is another important thing which is indicated here, that if any verb is ending with y, right, then y is changing into I. So what we say, the verb ending with y and before y is not a vowel. If you look at these three words, before y is d, then r, and r. So these are not vowels, these are consonants. So if the verb is ending with y and before y is not a vowel, it means there is a consonant before y, then y changes into I, and then ed is added, or it is es that is added. So in certain verbs we have added s, in certain other we have added es. So this is also important, that if verb is ending in these letters, then this is s, h, ch, s, x, z, r, o. If any verb is ending with these letters, then to make s form you put es. If it is ending with y and before y is a consonant, means it is not a vowel before y, then y shall change into I, and then es is added. This is the way we make s form. If you look at the first verb, here's y, but before y is a vowel, so y would not change into I. It is ed is added to make second form, right? And ed is added to make third form, and then only s is added to make s form of the verb play. But in these, y changes into I and es is added, y changes into I and ed is added, and regular verbs means that they all carry ed in their second and third form. They are ending with ed. Remember this. Now, what is the next? That is the irregular verbs. Irregular verbs are the verbs that are having different forms, second, third form, or different. So it is go, went, gone, take, took, taken, come, came, come, bring, brought, brought, swim, swam, swam. So if you look at all these, so the first form is different, the second is different, the third is different. So that's why these are called irregular verbs. Now, the way we add ing with them or the way we add s or es with them, that is same with regular and irregular verbs. There is no change, right? So, and another important thing you note here, that the verb that are ending in e, so when we add ing, we drop e and then we put ing. It is tak. E is dropped and ing is added. Come, com, and e is dropped, and in place of e, ing is used. But in case of go, same go is written here and ing is added. So only in the case when the verb is ending with letter e, which is a vowel, then e is dropped and ing is added when we make the ing form of the verb. So these all are called irregular verbs, but they all have the same form: first, second, third, ing, s or es forms, right? So these are the forms of these verbs, and this first form is used for present tense, this is used for past tense, this is used in all perfect tenses, present, past or future, this is used in all perfect continuous or continuous structures of present, past and future, right? So, and this is used only in present tense. So you have to have this in mind, that a verb has 5 forms. First form is used for present, then s form is used for present tense, second form is used for past tense, and third form and ing form are used in present, past and future. In all tenses we can use them. And irregular verbs, their first, second and third forms are different. Regular verbs, they are carrying ed in their second and third form. They are ending with ed. So that you have to have in mind. So then there is a verb have, do and be. These are the 3 different verbs where most of the students or people, they find difficulty understanding, because quite a few times you might have noticed that have, had is used, sometimes had, these two are used together. So practically how we use and why we use, that is a question where many people, they don't have that much clarity, so they find a difficulty. Same is the case with do, did and then does. So these are all forms of these verbs. So have is the first form, had second, then had second, third, and this is ing form having, and then s form is has. So when we add s with have, it changes into has, and when we add s with do, it changes into does. And what is the second form of do? Did. Third form done. Ing form doing. Then this is another important verb. The first form is be, second was, been, being, and is. Is the s form of be, right? So but when we use be for I, so we don't say I be, we say I am. So am, be changes into am. Am is practically a form of verb be that is used with only first person singular I. So I am. So be changes into am. Then if it is a plural case, it means they, we, you, then be changes into are. So we cannot say they be, we say they are, you are, we are, right? So then if it is a past case, then we say I was. It means here am changes into was, but are changes into were in plural case for the past tense, because we said the second form is used in the past tense. So it is they are, and in the past tense they were, but in the third form they all get with the same third form, right? And then ing form, and then s or es form. So s forms are used with he, she and it. Verb as forms, and use of these forms help us learn and speak the language. If you understand these forms of the verb, first form is used for present, second form is used for past, right? And s form is used for present with he, she and it, and these third and ing forms are used in all present, past and future tenses. So then it would be easy for you to learn the language. So focus on different forms of the verb and expand your vocabulary by learning more and more verbs, either maybe regular or irregular forms. Then comes the division of time. Time can appear in 3 possible ways. So we understand that the time that is over and that is not going to get back is the past time. The time which is right now is present time, and the time that has yet to come is the future time. So these are the three time divisions. So for present tense, we always use first form of the verb, as we said earlier. Then SRES form is used for the present tense only. Then second form is used for the past tense only. So these three different forms we have used, right? So for future, we learn later. Then further division of time. Each time segment can further be divided into four subparts. So for example, this is present tense. There are four parts of it. Simple present, sometimes people call this present indefinite tense, then present continuous, then present perfect, and then present perfect continuous. These are the four divisions of the present. Same are the four divisions of the past. We just change present with past. We say simple past, then it becomes the subpart of the past tense. Then we say past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. So we make four of the past and similarly four of the future. So four of present, four of past, four of future. Total turn out to be 12 different subparts of the time. So that are called tenses, right? So further, division of time and how we arrange verbs and what are the possible ways and means, I'll let you know. Then how to make SV sentences. SV means you use subject like I, we, you, he, she, it, or they, and then here you use verb, the action word, right, as we have discussed now. So you just add how we add these two together and make sentences, right? In lesson 2 I've explained the basics of it, and I shall explain in the upcoming lessons this SV sentences and when and where to use do, does, or did. This is a topic for the next video, so join me in the next video. If you like this video, please share it and click the thumbs up. Please subscribe this channel for next video notification.